Hello and welcome to the English Transformation Podcast, the very first English Transformation Podcast. My name is Paul and I will be your host / teacher for the foreseeable future for however many podcast episodes you choose to listen to or I decide to make. So as it's the first podcast and it's almost like the first lesson really, I thought we'd take it like a first class when you join a school and just introduce myself and the plan moving forward. Excuse me. So why am I making this? Well, I wanted to make it for a long time, but there's many things that I wanted to do for a long time and I don't always do them. And this is one. Anyway. Now I've got myself a nice new podcast recording machine. There's a flash computer behind me. There's earphones and a microphone that sounds relatively cool, at least in these headphones. And many people on Instagram have been pushing me to do it. So I thought, why not bite the bullet and do it? And so what can you expect from this and why? Well, another reason why is because we think at English Transformation that the more you listen to native language, the better your language becomes. Of course, probably lots of people think that. But you don't just want to listen to one person's accent because you can get familiar with that and comfortable. And some people do prefer different accents, Canadian, Australian or English or whatever. But I think you should listen to lots of different ones. So that reasoning will push the direction of the podcast a little bit. I did ask on Instagram what people would like, and they mentioned that they would like my thoughts. So some of the podcast episodes and YouTube videos will be just me rambling about what happened during the day. One thing that happened, if you can see in the background, is that the soccer team I support got to the Champions League football final. So another podcast episode that I will make either today or soon will be about that. So you can look forward to that or not, as the case may be. So it will be my thoughts on things that happened in the news or happened to me, running or football or my children or whatever it might be. And in that, there might be random things that you learn, vocabulary and grammar-wise, or it might be specific lessons. Because another thing that people requested was grammar and vocabulary lessons in podcast form. So, okay, we'll do that. And I thought that it would also be good to interview people from different careers, photographers, because a friend of mine is a photographer, my family, my friends, models, movie stars, soccer stars, whoever it might be, the local shop assistant, people on the street, tourists, students, maybe some language quizzes for students locally, and see what happens. You can put comments in the comments below of what you might like or who I should interview or the topics I should talk about, and we'll see where it goes. As I said, I've wanted to do this for a long time, but I didn't. It was always an excuse. And lots of students ask me, what can I do to improve my language? Well, the first word that really comes to mind is act. You should act. And that's why finally I am. Actually, I already recorded this once before, about 10 minutes ago, but I forgot to press record on the podcast recording machine. I recorded on the camera but with no sound, so that was a bit silly, but at least I got it done and it pushed me to do it even more. So I think that you should act. Lots of people learn lots of vocabulary and grammar structures, and that's all very well, having a book full of these things and having the knowledge, but the knowledge is not enough. You need to act. You need to produce language. And yes, you might make mistakes doing that. I make mistakes recording this podcast or YouTube video, but that doesn't matter. I used to be scared of it, but now not so much. And I thought that I would do it because if I'm showing you that I'm making mistakes, but I'm still producing content and hopefully getting better, then that might somehow inspire you to do the same with your language. So when you learn something, write. When you watch Instagram videos or YouTube videos, write in the comments, particularly if the video asks you to, or if you've learnt something. Don't just like it and scroll by. It's really not going to help you. In fact, I would prefer you didn't like my video, but you commented, because I think that it's better for you, really. It's nice to get likes, but I'm not sure what it does, except to boost my ego. But that's not the goal. The goal is to help you guys improve your language. So when you learn something, act. Anyway, that's about it now. So this first one is, as I said, very, very short, because it's just a little bit of an overview of what you can expect and a hello from me. And we'll see how many I can do and where it goes. So the journey will be fun, hopefully. And I look forward to interacting with you and answering some of your questions, or all of your questions, depending on how many I get, I guess. So thank you very much. Here is a little bit of outro music. Sounds suspiciously like the Foo Fighters. It's not. So Fooies, no royalties for you. Anyway, here you go. Thank you very much. Oh yeah, don't forget to go and follow me on Instagram at English Transformation, and listen out for the next episode of the podcast where I'll tell you how you can go about asking me some questions that I will answer on the podcast. Bye-bye.